My name is Hina Imtiaz.
Hello, my name is Shuin Sang.
Yeah, and we are here working with the professors at University of Houston and Texas Southern University. We were participating in a community-led research study, and so we're here to present the results today. So through this community project, we did a partner study with the OCA Greater Houston in the Alief area. So researchers from the University of Houston were Dr. Suzanne Pritzker and Dr. Danae King from Texas Southern University. It was a participatory research design, which was community grounded and through community partnerships. So Xu-Ying and I trained in the research process. We developed focus group questions with the whole group, and we recruited and conducted focus groups in 4 communities in the Houston area, which are the 4 highlighted in this slide. So we also conducted research focus groups in 5 different languages and had a total of 190 community members. So within the Alief area, within that community, we held 9 focus groups in English, Vietnamese, Chinese Mandarin, and Urdu. We also, with the researchers, we helped code the focus group transcripts, interpreted findings, identified strategies to address the findings, and now we're presenting them to you.
So here are the 3 questions that we've been asking our community, the AD community members. First, how does they define the civic engagement? And the second question is, what facilitates civic engagement and what are the barriers to civic engagement as perceived by the community members? And how does the crisis and recovery process from Hurricane Harvey impact how community members experience the civic engagement?
So as we were coming up with these discussions with the community members told us their definitions of civic engagement. So some of the ones that we wanted to highlight were options that some people don't necessarily think of as civic engagement, but others do. So things like policing your own community or reaching out to others within your community, holding others accountable, voting, ideas like this. So there's a very large variety of things that people view as civic engagement versus not. So we also have come up with some strategies based on the information and the feedback that we received from the community on how to increase civic engagement within our area. So our focus area was Alief. And so these are the ideas and suggestions that we got through speaking with the community members in Alief. So this first one is to create neighborhood information sessions to educate the community leaders, and community leaders could be anybody, such as the religious leaders or community leaders of organizations like OCA or BPSOS. So we wanted to emphasize that the community leaders should be educated on important information in the various languages and dialects, as well as education levels needed to communicate with the community members. So make sure that everybody has access to the important information. Also to educate the community on how to deal with concerns, how to get involved, who to hold accountable, and how to make change happen. Especially after a disaster happens, the community members should be educated about private and federal funding options.
And we also have come up with the suggestion with the simplify the communication technique, uh, using the variety of the communication method like internet, group chat, phone calls, newspapers, TV, and radios. Also the communication should reflect on many language and dialect and different education level in the community, just in case like not everyone will speak English and understands English, and share the information on how to help and how to get help, as well as who needs help in the communities. Working with the trusted organization and religious and ethnic groups to share and receive information within the community.
So community organizations within the area need to share information, give regular updates, seek out new ideas, and find ways to be more inclusive. So through talking with the community members, we noticed that people felt like they weren't able to get the information. They didn't know who to get it from. And so we found a lot of people felt left out in that way. So organizations should increase efforts to share information on what is happening and how people can engage. Organizations need to be from within the community so that the community members can feel comfortable with communicating openly. So having community leaders serve as coordination points to help people get the resources they need, especially during times of disaster. Also using religious organizations to assist in the Muslim and South Asian communities is a bigger involvement point in the Elif area. They need to be mindful of the specific needs of the Vietnamese and Muslim communities as well when planning how information and resources are shared, what community members need, and what residents have access to. And utilize known community organizations to help in the Vietnamese community, such as with BPSOS.
And also provide the community member with inviting and inclusive space together, like to have them come together to join the events. With that, make sure you understand the importance of cultural connection. Utilize inclusive space for events like museum, art installation, or community centers. Reflect the community members' different cultural background, and also always consider the transportation needs in the community because not everyone knows how to drive, especially elders.
So going along with that, that having events and incentives that reflect the community interests is extremely important to increase civic engagement. So for instance, with the South Asian community, we found out that having events that are focused on benefiting the next generation, helping the children, and being kid-focused was most important to the community members. For the older Chinese community who are not fluent in Mandarin, having expanded language access and planning events hosted by the trusted community members was most important. And then hosting events that assist in expanding the community members' views and dispelling the model minority myth is extremely important.
And also we have found out that the community members have been sharing that they felt leaders need to be more open and intentional and held responsible for their action, because they felt that they should be come out and focus on working with the group in community, not just by getting a vote. And leaders should be more inclusive by providing a resource in various language while building trust with the immigrant communities.
So the next question that we wanted to discuss was how to increase civic engagement after disasters. So after speaking with the community members, we discovered that leaders need to coordinate efforts with other leaders within the community and be more intentional about getting the information out, signing members up to get information, and inviting people to help to increase civic engagement following a disaster. So leaders will need to work to coordinate relief efforts following a disaster, and that encourages others to step up when it appears the government is not. Communication also needs to be straightforward, easily accessible for different languages and education levels, using various methods of communication, and to make sure that it's easy to understand. So many community groups in the Alief area use group chats, and so that can be used to connect people who are not impacted with people who are and who do need help. We also need to make sure to improve language access while being mindful of the different dialects and education levels when communicating information.
And also, the leader needs to simplify how to use how the helping process works, being mindful of the language accessibility and make it easier to navigate. Share the information on how to apply for assistance and be aware of the language needs in the community, because not everyone understands the English. And also expand the community organization that have contact with main government entities to make sure the important information is sent to our community members, and utilize the social media to get information out to our community members and increase civic engagement. Use the social media and group chat to connect those who not been impacted with the people who need help.
So now we are opening it up to any thoughts and suggestions. We had a few questions that if you are available to answer, or if you have any other feedback for us after participating and listening to this presentation, we're happy to answer any questions. So the first question that we had was, do you feel that the information shared represents your thoughts on what civic engagement looks like in your community? Next, do you have any additional thoughts related to civic engagement that you would like to share? And lastly, do you feel that there's anything missing from these strategies that you think would help make it more or less likely that people in your community will become civically engaged? We will be posting this on YouTube as well as Facebook. So you'll have access to this presentation again after we end the live session. We will also be doing another presentation on October 7th at 7 p.m. And you're welcome to share this information with anyone that's within the community, anyone that might be able to help or might need help. You're welcome to join our next live as well, so that if you have any more questions that come up or any more feedback that comes up, you can share it with us then as well. Anything else to add, Shiying?
No.
So that's it for us then. Please do join us the next time on October 7th when we do this again. And if you have anything that you need from us, you're welcome to reach out to the professors at the universities or leave comments on the Facebook or YouTube links. Thanks.
No.